Hey guys, Troy in the shop here, and I promised you a thrift haul, and that's coming up. This is one item out of the thrift haul, and I think kind of a good capper to the little impromptu series that we started on doing research. Um, because we had one on doing research before you hit a sale, we had one on doing research after. We don't have anything of doing research while you're actually at a sale or a thrift store or whatever. Um, that's this one. I made a mistake, and hopefully you can learn from it. So here's what we've got going. Went into the little old lady thrift store and found a couple of things. I've told you before, I always find good stuff there, and I did. I found some good stuff there. We're going to go over it in the next video. I promise. I think that's coming out tomorrow. Some cool stuff there and some cool stuff from Goodwill as well. But this is one of the things that I got from the little church thrift store, and I thought I had a big winner. Now I might just have something that's going to collect dust. We'll see. I'm going to try and make lemonade here, but I'm not sure. Okay, so first off, this is what I found. This sitting on the shelf. This is Spirit Halloween. Keep an eye out for this, guys. You know it pops up every October, November, probably, whatever. The Spirit Halloween. Some of their animatronic stuff, huge bolo. Keep an eye out for it. Look for the Spirit Halloween solds. Look at the comps and sort from high. Some of them really, really good. Keep an eye out for Spirit Halloween stuff at sales. But this ghost writing book, it's supposed to be sound activated. It's supposed to have a feather on here that writes stuff out, right? You can see on the back, it's also comes with the red feather. Okay, so I saw this, and I've seen it before at sales or on pictures of sales. Got there and it was already gone. Somebody snatched it up. You can see this originally sold for 35 bucks when it sold in the store. I don't know if there was a date. No, there's no date on the box, but originally sold for 35 bucks. So it was relatively expensive when it first came out. Okay, now here is how I found it in the box. Let's move it over here into the light. Here is how I found it. Okay, it's in the original bubble wrap, and I kind of just opened the box and I peeked in and went, look, okay, yeah, it's got the red feather, it's got the black feather, it's in bubble wrap, clearly it's well protected, and this is a church thrift store. So who's going to give something to a church thrift store that doesn't work? These people did. So, okay, here's what we got going on. Here's the battery compartment. It actually is missing, there's a screw missing that, no big deal. But, you know, very clean. This, of course, all stuff I didn't look at in the store. Look down here. See that connector there? That is no bueno. That's what they're supposed to look like. That's what it looks like. And actually, that's what it looks like after I kind of tinkered with it. I tried to pull it out a little bit because it was actually, it was smashed back in there. So I thought, well, maybe if I just stretch that back out a little bit, enough to make a connection, I can at least see if it works, even if that's screwed up. It doesn't. This actually started to turn red. When I pulled it out, it was heating up. It was heating up the battery. It was not good. So, yeah, it doesn't work. So, what now, right? I mean, if you look at the comps, I'll put them up over here. There are none of these actually currently listed. Well, there's one now, this one. None of these listed, though, other than this. And 6 sold. I actually dug through. There was one other one sold that they just didn't label right. They didn't have Spirit Halloween in the title. It kind of came up in the other related items. It was the same thing, and that's probably why it sold for less money. If you look at the comps here, it sells, and it sells really well. So none listed, 7 sold over the last 3 months, meaning this was going to sell. It was going to be probably a $50 or $60 sale. Not if it's not working. And there's a couple of lessons here. One, check the stuff at the store, right? Before you lay your money down, make sure that the thing works, or at least make sure the best you can. Now, typically, I actually carry around a handful of AA and AAA batteries when I go to a thrift store or when I go to garage sales for stuff like this to test it out. And I didn't have them this time. And there's two ways to go about that. Like when you're going to garage sales, if you've got the batteries, you can test something out, make sure it works. But I've also been in instances where I've gotten a good deal because they didn't know if it worked, and I didn't either. And that becomes a negotiating point, right? I mean, I know I've got batteries in the car. I can bring them in. I can test it. What's going to happen if I bring them in and test it? They go, well, yeah, see, it works. There's the price. But if I don't test it and I ask them and they say, you know what, I don't know if that works, all of a sudden, then you've got a negotiating point, right? Because you say, look, I like it. I kind of want to buy it, but I've got no idea if it works. So I'm taking all the risk here. Are you willing to work with me on the price at all? How can they argue about that? I mean, very often you're going to get a better price. Now you're rolling the dice. Maybe it's not going to work. So on something that's higher priced, probably not the best thing to do, unless you've looked at the comps and you know that even broken the thing sells, like the Dark Tower game that we had a little while ago. I knew going into that, even if it didn't work, I would be able to sell it for more than what I was buying it for. But that still gave me a negotiating point of, you think it works, but you don't know. I'm taking a risk here. But typically, more expensive stuff, that's not the way to go. But cheaper stuff that you think you can get even cheaper, that if you miss, it's no big deal. It's a good negotiating tactic, frankly. This one, I should have checked out, right? I should have at least opened the battery compartment. I didn't know that I was going thrifting that day, so I didn't have any batteries with me. But I could have opened that battery compartment. I could have looked and seen, you know what, it's messed up, and left it there. Now, I only paid $2 for this. Not a big deal. If it doesn't sell, if I have to throw it away, you know, I write it off. You know, I'm not going to redonate it because the thing doesn't work. I'm not going to do this to somebody else. But it's a lesson learned, right? And I've done this before. That's the thing. You'd think at some point after a year I would learn, but I've done this before. A lot of times I do it with clothes. I don't inspect them closely enough. I get them under good light at home and I see there's a stain on there, or you find a button missing, whatever it is. I've done them on electronics before. I've done it one time on a game where I bought a game. The game wasn't in the case. Always open the case because a lot of times the games aren't in there. And some of those lessons I've learned, but on electronics, I still get beat every now and then. And what happens is it doesn't happen on the stuff that you put in the cart and go, that'll sell for 10 or 12 bucks. I'll grab that. It's not the bread and butter, meat and potato stuff. It's always the stuff that you get excited about. You see it and think, that is big money. I'm grabbing it. You get excited, you get home, and then you find out it doesn't work, or that there's a flaw with it, whatever it is. And that's what happened here. You know, I saw the box. I knew it was money. I looked it up and confirmed that it was money. Peeked inside, saw, you know what, it's in bubble wrap. It's got to be in great shape. And so I just grabbed it. I didn't take it out of the box. I just looked inside the box. So this one's on me. Now, I did post it. I posted it. We're running a 15% sale right now, so I think I posted it for 25 bucks. It's down to like 21 bucks. And I do have a watcher on it. I just posted it for parts or repair. Put that in big bold letters in the title, in the description, pointed out that, look, there's a flaw with the battery compartment. I don't know if that's the problem, but it is certainly a problem. But this would look cool as a prop just sitting on a table, because, you know, visually it still looks fine. So I priced it really far down, and I'm going to take an offer on it because they're paying shipping. So if somebody sends me an offer, if somebody watching wants this thing and thinks they can fix it, or if they just want this propped up on their table at Halloween, the magnet actually works and the pen sticks on the book. That part of it works. It just doesn't move because there's a problem with that battery compartment. But that may be something for somebody that has the skills. They can fix that, and all of a sudden they got a $60 item for 20 bucks because they've got a little bit of electrical talent. I don't have even a little bit of electrical talent, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to try for a while to sell it for parts. I'll let it sit, and at some point, if it doesn't sell through Halloween, you know, I'll let it sit for the year. If it doesn't sell, then we'll write it off. As it is, we're losing 40 bucks because I didn't pay attention. We've already lost the $2, but you know what I mean. You know, eBay math, but. Yeah, that's just a lesson for you. Not as much research necessarily while you're there, but just paying attention. Maybe that's just a better way to do it. Take your time, slow down. When you find something that you think is worth money, make sure. Especially, you know, like here, I'm out $2, but there are instances where this could have been $12. I might have still gone for it, and then I'd have really felt bad. So when you think you find something really good, make sure before you lay out that money. That's what I got today. Very simple thing, but a little bit of an object lesson wanted to share with you. And technically, that's part of a thrift haul. I've got shoes, I've got Pyrex, I've got books. There's lots of stuff coming up in the thrift haul. That's just around the corner. For now, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.